Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Before and Afterthought with you here as always, Queen KZK. Be sure if you haven't already, be sure to watch, like, follow, and subscribe on both Instagram, both YouTube. Queen KZK. Check out my last episodes and podcasts over the last 5 weeks. Did part one and part two, and over the last 4 weeks, the first one was just about information in the actual podcast. This one was the episode and podcast over the last 4 weeks put together. And then instead of doing a triple threat, I did the episode and podcast into as one, half an hour, 35 minutes, and then an information one. And then this episode and podcast is over the last 2 weeks. The goal is 30 minutes, but it's okay if it goes overboard. As always said, keeping you updated, keeping you in knowledge and what's going on, everything you need to know, want to know, and more. We talked about I talked about, because it's football season, talked about the five top teams in for the Super Bowl and who I think is going to go to the Super Bowl. I talked about Crown Jewel coming up. I brought up after Crown Jewel, then Survivor Series, and next thing you know, Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. I brought up some events that will come between there, like I'm going to the SmackDown event right before Survivor Series. I talked about a new pay-per-view that should be invented, and of course, I should get that credit because that was my idea. A whole tag team Revolution pay-per-view would be awesome to watch, would be awesome to see since they're forming all these different tag team. I brought up Raw, SmackDown, prediction, results, the WWE Live, of course, the Halloween Havoc of NXT that passed this past weekend with Friday Night SmackDown coming up and Raw following, and then towards Crown Jewel. And my prediction results of that and what I think about each Raw SmackDown brand. Talked about the revolution of the Hall of Fame and legendaries that have returned, and of course the uprising superstars. What I think the tag team, what I would call them, and how I see it as, and all that good stuff. So, 5 week podcast episode done, caught up, information one, and then the actual podcast is broke down into two different parts. When Edge signed a AEW contract, and now, friendship with Christian, and now, better rivals with Christian turned out to be. And then 4 weeks, 3 weeks, instead of a triple threat, of kind of skipping back for went to like a half an hour, 35 minutes, or like 32 minutes, something like that. And now this episode of podcast over the last 2 weeks. So, those of you who have already watched, like, follow, and subscribe on both Instagram and YouTube, Green Kids Gay, thank you for that. Appreciate that. There's a shout out to you guys. And of course, round of applause and give yourself a pat on the back, as I always say. With that being said, let's jump right into it. Not really much to talk about this one. This was the one when I went to Monday Night Raw live, so it's going to be more of watching and analyzing the videos in this one more than me talking. But of course, I'll talk and analyze it as the video goes on, as this is a podcast and need to keep up with the flow. So you kind of get the idea in this and also my opinions on it. So with that being said, there's only one thing to say. There is, and after the bell, we had a world heavyweight champion Seth Rollins, and after the bell, we've had Chad Gaverson, part of the Academy tag team on after the bell, LA Knight forming this tag team champion with John Cena, and now just a tag team with John Cena, rather than tag team champions. Yeah, who's going after Roman Reigns for the Universal Undisputed Championship belt. Finally gets his opportunity for WWE Championship belt from all the work he's been putting in. So with that being said, towards I think believe Crown Jewel. So with that being said, a lot of swirls, a lot of things happening in such a little time, and also a lot of information to put together, before everything just starts hitting you. Like I was talking about with the holidays, it goes Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's, and that's how it goes with this. It goes Crown Jewel. Then we're looking at Survivor Series. Then we're looking at the Royal Rumble. Then we're looking, next thing we turn our heads will be WrestleMania 1 and 2. So, and I want that new revolution. I know that we did, like the first day of last year, they created like a day one new pay per view. So I think they should create an all tag team Revolution pay per view this year. So with that being said, those are my opinions and thoughts as far as talking about Survivor Series. I thought maybe they would mix them up a little bit, but turns out that ain't gonna happen. So with the Halloween Havoc that just happened, doesn't look like they're mixing it up as far as I know. I just know that like Dragon Lee's a part of SmackDown now. Kevin Owens was a SmackDown superstar that drafted to SmackDown as Jey Uso moved to Raw, and Cody Rhodes and him still having tag teams. Looks like they're still going after the tag team championship belts against Damian Priest and Finn Balor. And we have Crown Jewel, the Fatal Fire that Bobby will be busy defending her women's championship belt, which puts our North American champion. Dominic, are you on Team Mommy or are you on Team Priest and Balor? And also, if he does get involved, I think that Sami Zayn will have their back. This time, make it a better income, knowing what's going to happen and what's at stake might already be out there or nearby or something. So with them in order to get them back. So that's my little predictions for Crown Jewel and also some matches. So the matches that's already going to happen and then predictions to matches that I want to happen at Crown Jewel. Of course, this coming SmackDown and Monday Night Raw to that Crown Jewel to figure that out. With that being said, we had the Judgment Day. I was talking about, Seth Rollins being on the bump, Chad Garrison on the bump, Lil and I on the bump in the last 5, 4, 3, 2 weeks that I was talking about each individual of them, how LA Knight is now getting a championship against Roman Reigns at Crown Jewel, how John Cena and Seth Rollins became better frenemies than enemies. This tag team coming up winning in a WWE Live Tag Team match. I saw at the Academy how Chad Garrison was so close, and I think he was the closest to capture that Intercontinental Championship belt than anybody else was. He had Gunther right where he wanted him. If he got another shot, he would definitely capture it. With that being said, with that flat out new Intercontinental Champion, definitely be Chad Garrison if he got that another opportunity. Now it's time to return to Johnny and Tommaso, how they should form a tag team since they're forming all these different tag teams and stuff. That would be cool to watch and see that happen with Johnny Guerrero and Tommaso on NXT now. Since one time, being on NXT together and being former NXT champions, and now both returning to Raw, making a big impact. With Tommaso just having an Intercontinental Championship opportunity against Gunther, Johnny went as if he never even lost or left. Just bringing the energy as he always does, bringing that Johnny Guerrero NXT style to the World Wrestling WWE Entertainment on Monday Night Raw. So, with that being said, it was just all the matter after the bell, and of course added characters come on TJ, how used to be tagged in like the 2013 WWE Superstars, how I like the classic wrestling versus the 2023 wrestling versus now generation wrestling, how I watch them all with Raw, SmackDown, NXT, WWE Live, AEW, Impact, and of course Knockout and Lucha Underground as well. I touch base on all that these upcoming videos, Raw predictions, Raw results, which this is the Raw predictions in the stadium, and then the Raw results because I was on the floor with My Night Raw live. And then this is the SmackDown prediction results right after I was there live, including NXT, AEW, W Live, and of course Inside Stories. All that put into one. And I saw that the Judgment Day, Dominic and Priest as North American champion, Dominic Priest as one half of Raw and SmackDown Tag Team Champions was on the bump, and that they captured their titles back. So the Judgment Day is dominating on Monday Night Raw as they said they would do, left and right, and JD actually came through and helped the Judgment Day accomplish, which got on the good side of Priest with helping them achieve, but probably back on the backside as American Nightmare wasn't taking that sitting down, came out with 1 foot and all, destroyed him with the steel chair. So, with that being said, I was talking about my new gears and stuff, which share that after the videos, since we got plenty of time to do this. So with that being said, let's jump right into it. So the new 2023 program, new 2023 program that I captured. That's over here in this bag. So that's a little bit of my raw. That's a little bit of my raw predictions I was talking about. That did happen with Nia Jax, Rhea Ripley, Shayna Baszler, and Zoe Starks and Raquel, and why they're in a fatal five-way for the Women's Championship belt at Crown Jewel. That happened. That stirred it up on Monday Night Raw as Adam Pearce made it officialized. And then that's when they came in. Managed SmackDown at Survivor Series is coming up, and our World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins is now defending it against Drew McIntyre's. And then you saw me with my new Seth Rollins freaking shirt that I got, the program for 2023 magazine. I'm pretty sure I'm showing the cup on there. It the event before then, and it was still this year that I went to the one here when I went to Monday Night Raw in Omaha. I went to the one, and I got to. This one was better than the other ones that I went to though because I was right there with them. So I was talking about how I got to get a picture with Oxa and be right on the floor with our World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins when I went to the one in Iowa, when I went to the one, saw the American Nightmare down in Kansas, which of course that's my favorite NFL team, Kansas City Chiefs, so I love watching that. I saw all the Rick Roll across the street. Well, I went to that one, and then I got to be right where the Usos were when I went to the one in Lincoln, which was another SmackDown event. I think the one with the American Nightmare, like we got to see him, but it was a SmackDown one though, because there was a lot of SmackDowns more than Raw. It was a SmackDown event when I went to Iowa when I got to meet Oxa and see our World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins just because it's by his hometown, of course, right there on the bridge, Davenport, and we was in Des Moines, so got to see that, and it was like after SmackDown went out there, and that one was one in Iowa though with that, and it was real fun, and really nice to see. Saw Bailey and all them there at the show, and then was right by the Usos down in Lincoln, but not like close enough. Was close when see him sitting like two people down from me. That's what I got a picture of Charles Robinson. They got to butch it off. I didn't realize they was gonna come to the crowd. Got a high five from them and seen the American Nightmare for Kansas City. That I was a little up on that one. And then I went to the one that was here in Omaha. So mine I run that one was mad because I got to be right there with them. That's when I said, "Oh, I got to sing with Seth Rollins and I got to chant with Becky Lynch because I know when I chant, Becky Lynch can hear me. I know when I sing, Seth Rollins can hear me. I can see you because you're right there, eye and eye." So it's like, yeah, I got to dance with Jey Uso. I got to sing with Seth Rollins. I got to chant with Becky Lynch. And I got that new 2023 program that I showed you on the video, and that was my Raw prediction. As you saw, I was in the stadium. That's why it's hard to hear, so I wanted to kind of keep you up there of what I was actually saying because you couldn't really hear it with the sounding. And I don't know if it maybe I was talking low because I was right next to a couple of people. So, not very much people was even talking. But with that being said, then I was talking about I was going to show this, which I already put it on the video and stuff. I put it on there, but I'm not sure why I didn't do the rest of it. I mean, since I was right up there, I just kind of hurried up and tried to get it as fast as I could with the video and everything, just because it was right there. And this one we actually get to taste. Actually, I haven't. Oh man, it got bent. This is what I was talking about with Becky Lynch, Austin Theory, Seth Rollins, Ronda Rousey, Austin Theory, Roman Reigns, Drew McIntyre, and of course the Usos. There's Damage Control, Bobby Lashley, Trish Stratus. Oh no, that's not Trish Stratus. That's Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair, Sami Zayn, Cody Rhodes, and McIntyre, and Kevin Owens. That's how I was talking about the 2023 this year's program with everybody on the cover in it, but it was the same one as the events that I was talking about before. But with the cup though, see the last one is over there that I showed you with all the wrestlers on it. This one is just a classic WWE, and it has like the old WWE sign from like WNO with Hulk Hogan, and then the WWE now, like the WWE Live. That's more like the wrestling cup they gave this time, and then this was talking about that actually gave you half off of Applebee's, but it was more about having the actual physical tickets in my hand rather than on the phone. You see, the other ones they put it on the phone, and that's how I wore this leather jacket like this chair that I got that says literally says ringside on it. I mean, they could have put wrestlers on, but I guess they only do that when we went to meet you McIntyre's. They might only do that on the show or something. So I don't know if you can see it. Probably can't with the way the laptop is. There you go. My new podcasting chair. And of course, not sitting on it. Don't want scratches, marks, or sweat marks on it. So that's what I was referring to. That's what I was showing. Just literally sitting out there in my chair, waiting for my ride on the night of the event. Just sitting out there, just chilling. I'm like, well, I'm not the only one because half the people that was in line, we didn't get out till like almost 11 because by the time Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso got done hitting everybody's hand, which I was close enough to dance with Jey Uso and chant with Cody Rhodes, but not close enough to get a picture with him. But still getting the dance with Jey Uso, chant with Cody Rhodes is good. Sing with Seth Rollins, chanting with Becky Lynch because I know they heard me. I know they acknowledged me. I know that Tegan Knox was like right there, and our age is like the girl right in front of me. Got scared because she didn't realize how close she was gonna get so fast. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn right there. You got to sing a song to them. They appreciate it. Right there, someone's like face and face. I'm like, that's best experience you can get, in my opinion. Unless, of course, you're right there. And then Ricochet, I see him right there. I was on Ricochet off camera, and then he waved and acknowledged me, and then came and gave a shirt to the kid before he even started wrestling. So you got a fresh shirt right after Ricochet, and the kid was like right diagonally from me. So those are kind of most of the things that I like to watch and what it's all about. Just the moment and the feeling. That's my new podcasting chair. Hold this awesome leather jacket. And of course the luggage that come along with it. Just so that it doesn't, I mean, really don't want this bent and stuff. Don't want this all bent up. There, now the 2023 program is intact. Looking fresh as always with the wrestling cup, with the wrestling tickets, and the leather jacket I was talking about. And this hotel, then I also got one of these. It's like the last thing. Got a picture and an autograph of the artist Dexter from NXT. I don't know if that's the NXT one or when he came over to Monday Night Raw and made it like officialized when he was a part of the wrestling. Monday Night Raw signing the contract out there with Adam Pearce and everything. So I'm not too sure if it was that one or that one or when he was in NXT. And I was like, I think it's a recent one because in the NXT it looked different. And then this is what I was telling when I got a picture. Maybe you guys already seen the picture on the front cover when I showed you guys that, but then I got the autograph too of Drew McIntyre, who has a World Heavyweight Championship opportunity against Seth freaking Rollins. Which, of course, I'm going for Seth Rollins, so for the World Heavyweight Championship belt at Crown Jewel. And then they give you this nice, it's actually real metal because it's a little bit on the heavy side. Be a nice little bag, nice Ziploc, all that and stuff. Just they even put paper in it, like a VIP paper foil in it, just to make sure it doesn't get dirty. Not like a VIP. And this is actually real metal. Imagine the real one, what it feels like. Championship belt. Because I know when I went to a W Live before, there was a guy like in front of me that was crossing the street. I was like, I think 12, 11 maybe. At this one, I was like 11. And then he was standing in front of me, and I saw him have, I had the championship belt, the one that spins that John Cena used to have, which I like the spinning championship belt that John Cena held. Don't know what happened to it. Not like it was the one with his autograph, so I'm not sure, but I can buy another one. But, which I did, I was really going crazy for it because I know where I put my stuff. I'm very organized, especially things like that, and then all of a sudden, it's like Casper the Friendly Ghost just swooped it up and it disappeared. But anyways, I had the spinning championship belt that John Cena had, and there was a guy that was in front of me. We was crossing the light, and he had the World Heavyweight Championship belt, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then like he let me hold it, and it was like made out of metal, and it was like heavy. And I was like, how the hell do you guys carry this? He's just like a big guy too, and I'm like this small, and this guy's huge, looking like the Rock over here, just picking up like it's nothing. I'm like struggling, barely holding the championship belt. Like, I wonder how something wrong when you're swinging that championship around. No wonder I got to work out just to hold the damn championship belts, let alone the actual match or physicality. And of course, the VIP button that comes along with it. Let alone that, that come out there and have muscles just to hold your championship belt and celebrate with it without it falling on you or being embarrassment, something moment like that. And then, like letting the fans take pictures, and autograph and all that stuff. Let alone when they put it up to defend it and they actually hold it for their actual wrestling matches and all. Alright, no wonder why you have to do all that. Just to hold your trophy. Imagine having to work out just to wear a piece of jewelry like this necklace or hold your t-shirt. Hold your achievement. Wear your achievement just to work out to hold it so you don't drop it. That would be hilarious. So I just wanted to show that off a little bit, and then this is the Monday Night Raw live bet. See Kofi Kingston and Ivar in the Shield. Seeing Kofi Kingston and Ivar in the Shield match right in front of us with Xavier Woods trying to help out. But Sarah's out there nowhere. Shinsuke Nakamura, Ricochet fighting backstage with Kel. First team was actually with Nia, but then it became a fatal fight with Mommy out there. See, I was first with JD, but now he actually helped the Judgment team. this last for all, rather than getting on the backside of them. Except it's just that Star Wars wasn't letting that one sleep on. And of course, Orange National doing the WWE exclusive interview with Shinsuke Ricochet over there, and now Ricochet has his eyes on Logan Paul for what happened at SummerSlam. And these ones, that was my Raw prediction. As you see the front cover, here's with Drew McIntyre's autograph from Drew McIntyre's really great guy. Huge hands, he's tall, but really fun. Great guy. I got to be honest with us talking about too, and go with those live events. The Lincoln line, I cut right through the alley to get there just for the Usos, because that's why I went there in the first place. Got my Bloodline shirt when I went, and then I got to the Oxy when I went to the Iowa one, Drew McIntyre on Omaha one, and then, like I said, the Lincoln one, we didn't have anything else, just like me and like mostly all the people just darting in just in time into the Lincoln one to see the Usos out there talking on the mic, and I'm like, I got my Bloodline shirt. This is the reason why I came with the Usos, and then they was out there talking. They came out a second time around, and then when it was in Kansas City, like I love watching the Kansas City roller coaster, and then we got to see the American Diamond there, and then so that was Lincoln in Kansas, and then Iowa was like right on the floor with stuff, and got to meet Charles Robinson and get a picture with Butch and all. Like I had the video on them because I didn't know that they were gonna be right there, and I actually got a picture right off with Drew McIntyre's Oxley here, and the one down there. So I didn't realize it was like a WLI like before Raw and after Raw, and then I saw Ricochet and Strowman like right there, but of course close but not close enough. So I kind of went on this side a little bit. This is the WWE Live that I was talking about when I went to Jeff Dunham. Peanut, my favorite on Jeff Dunham. Very first one that he made. And then the skeleton would be my second favorite one. I really like the axe and the big eyes, and if you listen, you hear the funny remarks that comes with it. And of course, a little backstage on Raw, SmackDown, WWE, AEW Live, and then of course SmackDown with Kevin Owens being drafted to SmackDown. With them passing alliance with the Bloodline of Cody Rhodes and Jay. Now focus on the Judgment Day. It's like John Cena and LA Knight focus on the Bloodline. Cody Rhodes and Jay Uso focus on the Judgment Day on SmackDown. But of course, you got Sami Zayn to help you on Raw. Kevin Owens to help you on SmackDown. And Roman Reigns reminded who the real Tribal Chief is. That Roman Reigns is the Tribal Chief, not Jimmy. And that Solo him got business with now LA Knight and Roman for the championship belt. And of course, the Undertaker returning to NXT, the Deadman, the Hall of Famer, the legendary one of a kind Undertaker returning to NXT. You thought The Rock made it the #1 show with over 300 million views just because The Rock made SmackDown a #1 show returning. And now they go John Cena, part of wrestling to SmackDown. And then you got the return of The Undertaker on NXT. And then John Cena appeared on there too. And Carmella getting to celebrate with them. And then you had the return of Nia on Raw, and then Jay used to go Raw and Kevin Owens go SmackDown. A new management for Raw and SmackDown, kind of playing under the belt a little bit, pulling the strings a little bit. And then you had Johnny Guerrero return to Raw. It's like Nia returned to Raw, Johnny returned back to Raw, Tommaso returned back to Raw. And then you have The Rock making it 300 million views with SmackDown's #1 show all over again. Then Bianca returns to SmackDown. Then Logan Paul comes to SmackDown for versus United States Champion Rey Mysterio for Crown Jewel. Then Undertaker, after John Cena returns to NXT, and then John Cena appears on NXT. I think that was his first time appearing on NXT too. It is his first time returning on NXT because John Cena was on NXT. He was on the WFC. Well, it was called ECW with Paul Heyman. I remember when John Cena versus Edge for the championship belt, and they hated John Cena. They was throwing toilet paper at him, was spitting at him, saying, yelling, cussing at him, and all that stuff. Like they hated him. They didn't want him to win just because he was from not where in their city. But he's versus RVD, and then Edge screwed John Cena that night against RVD for the championship belt. Paul Heyman was there. Anyways, that was the ECW. And then he was on Raw, SmackDown, and finally appeared on NXT for the first time. And then, of course, a part of OVW, Wrestling School with him, Randy Orton, Brock Lesnar, and Batista were to come from. That's all of his legendaries now. So that one went with those ones. And then this is, I don't know why it stopped. I try to show you the best of it. That's how Nia Jackson and Cal and how Nia came between there. Not gonna fail final for the women's championship. For South Steve McIntyre now at Crown Jewel, which led to that in American Iron Jey Uso. Last time how we got to sing with Sami Zayn, chant with Kevin Owens, dance with Jey Uso, and see Ricochet out there live. And then for the carry, Darlene and Becky Lynch for Becky Lynch. She was champion. Well, at the time she was NXT champion. All women's tag team going on here, like a fatal four-man, four-way tag team. That's when I saw the next time party lot. American Iron taking autographs because they later had our chairs locked, so we can't even adjust your chair or anything. You gotta wait till they come see your ticket and cut it just to get your chair to go home. A little bit of everything to kiss there. Nicest from one of my favorite music station myself. I'm sure I saw Ringside Chair. I thought a show and tell. I just show you. There's that Seth Rollins shirt that sing my song in the paneling cast, but afterwards you see there. I like that shirt. It almost looks like the floor of when you got to watch the Alice in Wonderland movie. I tell him live with the show. As he said, you want to see the show? Hey, I told you. It's coming to the show. He asked me, he told me so. I said, yeah, right there. And then in the beginning and all. You're gonna hear yeah a lot and woo a lot. When he's all dancing yeet with Jey Uso and Raw singing with American Diamond and all singing that song. That stuff wrong to say chanting back to. You're gonna hear yeah and woo a lot for Charlotte and LA Knight when you go to a wrestling event for sure. And that would bring this guy right here. I wanted one with a picture on it, but they had these ones, the ones that he was wearing. Well, one like the one he was wearing. That they had in there for that point. So I was like, all right, that'll work, but it's not exactly what when it made it seem sound like your logos along with their shirt makes it more representative rather than just the word. But it's all good. So, anyways, got to enjoy that. That was fun. That was amazing. That was an awesome time. I love doing things like that. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching, like, and follow, subscribe on both Instagram and YouTube who already have. And those of you who haven't, be sure to watch, like, follow, and subscribe on Instagram and YouTube. Check out my last 5 week episode in podcast, last 4 week episode in podcast, last 3 week episode in podcast, this last 2 week episodes in podcast. Check out me hosting my episodes in my podcast, of course, interviews about personal things if you want to know. Then I'll also be on there as well. My album playlist, Studio Time Sniffness, my new rapping video that I just put out that's talking about. My studio rapping video that's out. My rapping video that's out. My Sniffness and these are coming out. Album playlist that's out. This and my other episode of podcast. Talk about football, Crown Jewel, Survivor Series, Show and Tell, Monday Night Raw live video. This past Raw, Monday Night Raw video that I did along with the tradition, including the NXT Halloween Havo I was just talking about, and acknowledging that as well. And of course, anything and everything you want to know, need to know, and more. And make sure you don't miss anything. And don't forget to hit that follow, that like, that subscribe button on both Instagram and YouTube right over here.